Uh, is is this been on? I've been unemployed for 5 years now. Before the pandemic, I was working as a barista in a small coffee shop, and that came to an end. And in 2020, because of the pandemic, at first we were put into furlough, and that was okay. That was fine until the government decided that employers would have to pay the first 10% towards the furlough. And my boss couldn't afford to do that. So he had to lay most of us off, including myself. And I knew, being in my late 40s, that I would find it a struggle to get back into work. Little did I know that 5 years later, I would still be looking for work. I would still be unemployed. And when you've been unemployed for so long, negative thoughts creep into your mind, and sometimes they can take hold. And there are times when I think to myself that I'm unemployable, that's it. I'm done. I'll never get back into work. I'll be on the dole until I reach retirement age and draw the state pension, if indeed there is still a state pension by the time I reach retirement age. Watch this space. But on a serious note, I genuinely believe sometimes that I'm unemployable because, as I've already said, I'm in my late 40s. I actually turn 50 next year. And on top of that, I am autistic and I have ADHD. And I struggle to get into employment at the best of times. And these are the worst of times. I'm laughing because I'm nervous, but it's very serious. It is actually very serious. These are the worst of times, aren't they? We're living in a cost of living crisis. And the Labour government haven't exactly done a lot to alleviate that issue. They've actually made matters worse. They've taken away winter fuel payments. They've made it a lot more difficult to claim PIP. They're going to reduce universal credit. They're going to reduce people's benefits, in other words. And they're going to make it a lot more difficult for the poorest and the most vulnerable people in society. People like me. And many others in the same boat as me. And so I can't help but think that, this is my lot now. This is how it's going to be for the rest of my natural life. Yeah, I'm going to be on the dole, forever. That's it. Because of my age, and because I'm neurodivergent, and it's not for lack of trying. I've been on courses. I've learned how to put a decent CV together. I've learned how to put a decent cover letter together. I've learned how to effectively fill in application forms. I've learned how to conduct myself at an interview, and I'm putting those things into practice. And I've improved my qualifications as well. I've got qualifications coming out the wazoo. Yeah, I've got diplomas. I've got a diploma in business and finance. I've got a diploma in customer service. I've got a diploma in business administration. I even retook my GCSEs. So now I've got better GCSE grades. I've got A star in English, C in maths, B in science. So I'm qualified. I even took a diploma in barista in baristing. Baristing? Is that a term? Is it is that a word? Let me know in the comments. But I barista skills. I've got the qualifications. I've got the experience, and I'm looking for work all day. Oh, well, maybe not all day. But certainly a few hours every day. And I apply for at least one job a day, every day. Every day I'm applying for jobs in hospitality, supermarkets, cleaning. I've even started applying for entry level admin work. So it's not for lack of trying. And I feel that I conduct myself reasonably well at interviews. I dress up smartly. Firm handshake. While I'm waiting for the interview, for the interviewer in reception, I'm sat upright. I'm not on my phone. I'm not hunched over. I look the part. I'm polite. Smile. Outgoing. Well, as outgoing as I possibly can be. I'm doing my best, and yet, 5 years later, I'm still unemployed. And so you can, I think I can be forgiven for thinking that that's it now. I'm done. I'm unemployable. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm sure there are many others in a similar situation. Maybe hundreds of other people in the same or similar situation, who maybe they're people who have been unemployed for longer than I have, who, like me, can't help but feel that they're done. That's it. They're on the scrap heap. So the thing is, I know up here that I'm not unemployable. I have to remind myself of that every day. It's an ongoing process. I know I'm not unemployable. I know that I've got a good 20 years left to give. I've got a lot to offer. And the frustrating thing is, most jobs I go for, I apply for, in the job advert, it says full training will be given. So what's the problem? Just employ me. Just give me a job. Give me a job. Give me the full training that I need. Put put a couple of reasonable adjustments in place so that I don't become overwhelmed in the workplace. And Bob's your uncle. I'll be fine. You know, you won't find a harder worker than me. I'll be punctual, hardworking, loyal to the company. I'm not going anywhere. Once you employ me, that's it. You've got me until I reach retirement age. So, what's the problem? Just employ me. It's not that deep, man. But no one wants to. No one wants to employ me. Why? Because I'm older. Is that it? Because I come across a bit awkwardly at interviews? Or perhaps, if I was being really cynical, could it be because of my name, my surname, Silver? Could that be it? I don't know. And these days it's really difficult to get some honest feedback as well. You just get the generic response of, oh, there were a lot of applicants, and we interviewed a lot of really top quality applicants for this job, and we employed someone who had more qualifications and experience. I've got plenty of experience and plenty of, like I said, qualifications coming out the wazoo. How much more experience and qualifications do you need? So I don't know. I'd like to hear from you guys. If there's anyone out there who is in the same boat or very similar boat to me, who has been long-term unemployed and is beginning to think, or already believes that they're unemployable, that this is their lot now, let me know in the comments. Let me know you're experiencing. Let me know what you're experiencing. Let me know your experiences of job seeking, of interviews, of getting rejected. I'd love to hear some of your stories in the comments. And if you have any advice of what else I can do to gain employment, I'd love to read some of those comments as well. Let me know. But I think that's about it from me. I've got that off my chest. And if you've liked this video, give me a thumbs up, and do leave a comment. That will really help me out with the algorithm. And if you're new, do subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video. Okay, bye for now.